Hi everyone, this is Love in Colors. Today I am here to show you all the pages that I colored in the past 2 months. You are seeing here a sneak peek of a few books that I colored. There are a few more in here. So I am going to put this aside and get started. I'm going to start with my mandala books, as always. I left a kind of a bookmark page that I did. So I colored quite a few pages in February, but in March I didn't color a single mandala here. So this was the first one that I did. It's alcohol markers and the background with soft pastels. I sprayed fixative here to keep it the soft pastel. The next one is a quite simple one. Alcohol marker, metallic gel pens, and I traced a line with a ruler and colored this part with black alcohol marker. Then I went on top with glitter glue. I used my finger to apply it. It's the inexpensive glitter glue that I always talk here, that you can buy on Walmart. So that's that. The next one, I love this one. It's quite simple, alcohol markers. I used metallic gel pens to do some dots here, but I love this color palette. I really like it. So these alcohol markers here are Spectrum Noir because they have some different colors. I have the vintage set, and I think it's perfect to have as a complementary set of alcohol markers, because the Chinese alcohol markers, they are great, but I feel like we don't have certain colors. It's hard to find in them. So I think this Spectrum Noir vintage set, it's perfect to give some extra colors. So yeah. This next one is quite warm. I don't know what I was doing with this color palette, but it was fun. Again, alcohol markers and glitter gel pens. Now this one here, it was an experiment that I was doing. I primed the page with clear gesso, and after it dried, I tried a variety of materials that I like to color to see how it would behave in clear gesso. So I used colored pencils here, alcohol markers, Crayola super tips, acrylic paint pens, glitter gel pens. They didn't work well here. Also, alcohol markers, they behave quite differently. It's almost like watercolor, the effect you get. And the background, I used distressed inks, and wow, the clear gesso is perfect for distress inks. It's so easy to blend the inks here and get a smooth effect, a smooth result. I really enjoyed, but I did enjoy for alcohol markers and color pencils. I'm on the fence. I don't know how I feel. If it's worth to have the trouble to cover a page with it. I don't know yet. But that was my experiment. Now this one is one of my favorite pages that I've done in this book. It's alcohol markers and metallic gel pens. But the background I did with alcohol markers. I might do a video showing how I did it, but it was quite fun. I did a few backgrounds here using this technique with the alcohol markers. This one was the first one. It's more messy, but then I kind of got how I should do it. This one here, it was me trying to use this color, this dark purple here. It's a color that I have a hard time using it. I don't know how to incorporate this color with others, so that was me trying. And this again was me trying to use this color. Here I used alcohol markers and metallic and glitter gel pens. Yes, that's the last one that I did here. So the next one is from this book, In the Garden, Color and Frame. And the page that I did was this one here. I used Spectrum Noir alcohol markers and Castle Art pencils and some glitter gel pens. I got this color palette on Pinterest, so I am very pleased how this turned out. So yeah, that's this one. So the next book is Secret Garden by Johanna Basford, and the page that I did is this one here. It has some colors that I've used in the other coloring book that I showed you. It's also Castle Arts here and Pentel Sparkle Pop Gold, and I outlined most of the leaves with it. And this red you see is Crayola Super Tips that I used to give some pop of colors. I mean, it's very colorful, this page. The owls, I used glitter gel pens. I was so tired when I finished because I colored all the leaves and those fruits here, and I was left with these two owls, and I didn't have any idea what to do with them anymore, so I colored with glitter gel pens. But I like how it turned out. So, okay. The next book is Cupcakes by Coco Weil, and I did 2 pages here. This one I didn't plan the colors that I was going to use, so I just pick up the colors that I felt, and I don't know, I don't like it how it turned out. But it's okay. sometimes I feel like I need to put colors on something without planning, and that's how I go. And I keep a paper because some markers that I have, they leave yellow stain on the pages. So because I never know for sure which ones do that, I am leaving a paper behind every page that I color now. So the next one that I did was this one, and this one I picked a color palette on Pinterest to base my coloring, so I am more pleased with this one. I used alcohol markers, Maymoy alcohol markers, and Castle Arts pencils for shading, just a little, nothing fancy. And also I used some glitter gel paints, and on the stars I applied glossy accents. I always forget the name, but I love how the glossy accents leaves the page more interesting, I guess. So those are the two pages that I colored here. The next book is this one, adult coloring book, 6 stress relieving birds and flower designs. It doesn't have an author name, nothing. You just start right away with a coloring page. So I'm going to start in order that I colored. So the first one that I did was this one. I colored it with Amazon Basic pencils and some alcohol marker. Yes, I used alcohol marker just in the blue and to the tree. Everything else is only colored pencils. And a little of glitter gel pens for some accents. This one, I didn't use any color palette, it was from my mind, and I am very pleased how this turned out. And the next one, I am so proud of this page. It was also from my mind. I didn't use any color palette, any reference. It was all me, and I am in love. So I used here Maped colored pencils and alcohol markers for this black part only. Everything else is colored pencils, and the leaves is metallic gel pens. And here on top I use a Nouveau Mousse with my finger. I have 3 colors that I got to experimenting to have some fun stuff for my art journals and other stuff that I do, but I decided to use in coloring as well, and I like how it turned out, this effect. I used my fingers very, very lightly to encircle circular motions, and I got this effect. So yeah, I am so pleased with this one. So yeah, that's this one. The next book is Positively Inspired by Jazz Wolinski. Today is a happy day, and the page that I did is this one. She explains how to use colors at the beginning of the book, and I found her instructions very useful. I followed it. She gives you a color palette that you can use as base, and I created my own based on this one. I added a few more colors, and that's the result. I used here Arteza Expert pencils and Marco Pastel because Arteza doesn't have these very light colors like this cream, light yellow and light green, so I used it together with Arteza pencils and a little of Pentel Sparkle Pulp Gold. I love this pen for adding this gold metallic accents to my coloring pages. I am in love with this color palette. I'll be using it in other colorings in the future. But this book is really nice, and the paper is nice for colored pencils. I like it. Right. The next one is 50 Snowflakes to color, and I did this one. I colored with Crayola Super Tips and glitter gel pens. That's all that I used here. And the background I have a little pump that blows air, and you attach your pen. In my case, I attached the Crayola Super Tip, and when you press it to blow the air, it blows like sparkles from the ink from the Crayola Super Tip. So that's how I got this background. Okay. The next one is Entangled by Angela Porter. This book is one that I have chose to finish this year, so I'll try to color it every month. So the first page that I did was this one. I used alcohol markers, colored pencils on the sky, and lots of glitter gel pens. Oh, I used here Wink of Stella on the roses, and yeah. I like how this part is, but I don't think this color matches well with the others. I don't know. I don't like this part here. Yeah. So the next one, it's another mindless one that I did, only alcohol markers. I was just with the need to put some colors down, and I also used metallic gel pens here to give a little of accent. I started to do some shading, but I gave up because I wasn't feeling like working hard in a page that day. I just wanted to do an easy and simple coloring. Sometimes that's how I am feeling. Now this one, on the other hand, I went to town with shading, playing with colors. I love how this one turned out. I used a color palette on Pinterest that I found on Pinterest, and I used alcohol markers and shaded with pencils. It was... no, I didn't. But I believe it was Castle Arts because I am using it quite a lot lately. I am trying to pick up the pencils that I wasn't using very much. So I am giving some love to them right now. But I love how this one turned out. It took me a few nights to finish it, but I enjoyed. I didn't was bored coloring this one. I know patterns is not for everyone, but I love them. I love. So the next one is the Square Mandalas by Alberta Hutchinson. I hope I said it right. So it's by Creative Heaven, and the page that I did was this one. I used here alcohol markers, colored pencils for shading, and Paul Rubens watercolor. I have the pearlescent set, and I picked up the blue one to paint the background. It wasn't a good idea because there are so many small parts to color and it took me forever to finish, but I like the result. I don't know if the camera is picking the metallic sheen this has, but right. And the yellow is again Pintel Sparkle Pop Gold. I recently bought a pack of 12 of this gold pen because they run out so quickly, so fast. But yeah, I enjoyed doing this page. So, but what's the only one that I did here. And the last book is Paris Patterns Beginner Series by Mary Jo. And this was the first page that I did. I colored with alcohol markers, and this border here is done with Ecoline watercolor gold. The paint is quite thick and opaque. It reminds me of gouache, but it's watercolor, and I love this gold color. It's beautiful. It's also a project that took me forever to color with a brush every single circle here, but I like how it turned out. I am pleased with this one. The next one, I also had a lot of fun. I colored with alcohol markers only, and I used Sakura Stardust Clear to outline everything here, so you have this effect. And I glued a sequin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, and I glued one on every other little in the center shape here. And I also used Nouveau drops to create like it was a water drop here. But I like how it turned out. It was easy, very easy and fun. The next one is this one. I also had a lot of fun because I really enjoyed this color palette. I also picked on Pinterest. was done with alcohol markers and metallic gel pens and Sakura Stardust Clear. I like to outline some shapes sometimes. Now this one, it was me again trying to use this kind of dark purple, and I liked how it turned out, but I ran out of this marker. It is a big marking, so I don't have a replacement, so I decided, instead of trying to find a similar color which I don't have, I decided to leave it white. I don't know. These parts here are with glitter gel pen, but I like this color combo, and here is metallic gel pens. And this is the last one that I did. Also all done with alcohol markers, and I added Wink of Stella here, the middle. I applied like 2 coats to get this shine, because Wink of Stella is very subtle. You need to do, if you want it to be very sparkle, you need to do 1 coat, wait to dry, and then apply another one, as many as you want, but always wait to dry first so you don't damage the paper. And also I did all those dots with Posca pen white. And yeah, this one is a wig. I started and I don't know what colors I'm going to use. So yeah, that's all that I colored in the past 2 months. I hope that you enjoyed watching and that you could find some inspiration for you. And yeah, I see you in the next video, and take care. Bye bye.